Hello, good evening, folks. How are you doing today? You're welcome to another edition of the Shower Hour. Tonight, as always, you have the co-guest, or should I say I'm the one that's the co-host, and then you have the main host. Her name is Catherine. Hello, Catherine.
Hi, everyone. Good evening.
The spirit of love is in the air. You're very hot. Yes, I can hear you. I said the spirit of love is in the air.
Valentine's.
You're ready for the Valentine. I can see that. Hot pink and all of that. And I'm wearing red. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, I can hear you. I lost you there. Yes. It's the second edition of the program, and it's the Valentine Special. I've been looking forward to this edition, and I'll hand over to Habib for now.
Yeah, I remember you talking about you had to have a Valentine special because there was so much talk about this Valentine season, especially with the COVID-19. Last year it took everybody by surprise, so there was really nothing to talk about, so to speak. But this year, everybody's prepared for the COVID-19. Everybody knows that there's a problem, and there are lockdowns in most major cities around the world. So a lot of people can't actually get to do the stuff that they do normally around about this time. And that brings us to the issue of sex, romance, and relationships in this really pretty difficult times. So tonight we have on two very special guests. They're both experts in their field. They're going to be telling us a couple of things that we probably know, but a lot more that we ordinarily do not know. So you actually have an emotional masseuse on board. So you're probably going to get an emotional massage tonight. Well, first time I ever heard of it myself, so I was pretty blown away.
I know.
Catherine, I don't know about you, but I've never heard of an
I had never heard of the word, an emotional masseuse. I had never heard of it. And I'm quite eager, very much interested to see what it's all about. And we have our second guest speaker as well, Gertrude Mungai, who is a lifestyle designer in sex and intimate relationships. We're looking forward to hearing what they have to say to us tonight. I'm happy about this program. Hello, Habib. Hello. I think I lost you there. Hello.
Okay, so sorry about that technical hitch.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I'm not sure exactly what. So I was talking about Taribo. How about Gertrude? Have you introduced her to the guests?
Yes, I did briefly. I would let Gertrude introduce herself and talk more about herself as well.
Okay, so we'll do the usual thing, which is ladies first, and we're going to bring Gertrude into the studio, and then we'll bring on Taribo as well. So, hello, Gertrude.
Hi, Gertrude.
Hi, Catherine. Hi, Habib.
Hi.
Finally, I see the faces. Hi.
And you recognize the faces.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. 2 o'clock.
No, it's not fantastic. I'm supposed to be Valentining at this time.
It's exactly. So it's Valentine's Day already.
Valentine's Day already where you are. Okay, so we'll bring on your Valentine. We'll bring on your virtual Valentine right now. And his name is Taribo. And he's going to give you an emotional massage.
he's giving us some emotional massage tonight.
Hello, Taribo. Hi, how are you doing?
Hello, Habib. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Taribo.
Yes. Hello, Catherine. Hello, Gertrude. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Fine. I finally get to see your face.
We're all excited tonight.
Yes.
Good.
So
like
ladies
said,
first.
first time I was ever to hear. emotional masseur. So let's start. Even though we brought on the lady first, I think we'll start with the one that's catching my attention, like really hot. What's an emotional masseur?
Okay, okay, my interest now, because I've been a counselor and I've driven conversation and love, life, living, and relationship for a while. So, being an emotional masseur, I'm a creative helper. I see myself as a creative helper. So basically, I help you manage your emotions. I help you go through your emotions successfully, because you find out that sometimes our emotions are ignored, but emotions, no matter how you feel in a particular way can affect every part of your life. So if you're having a bad relationship, it affects every other phase. Most times our relationships can actually cloud us. You heard people say you need to kill those emotions, right? But our emotions cannot really be killed. You can actually suppress them, but what happens over time, it will come in another form. So when you have a particular emotions, if you don't want to express it, the best you can do is to convert it and let it become profitable to you. So it is not a limitation to you to live the best life that you can live. So that's what I am simply. I am your creative helper, creatively helping you manage your emotions through the seasons and phases of life.
That's fantastic. So that's
interesting.
That's the toned down aspect. Catherine, that's the toned down aspect of what Gertrude does. So Gertrude, you are like the superstar tonight, because everybody has been sending messages back and forth as in like, oh my goodness, they're gonna talk about sex. Everybody likes to talk about sex. It gets them like really agitated and really going. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I call myself a lifestyle designer on sex and relationships. I'm trying to revive the old African ways of making love. I know most of those methods were abolished, but I'm telling you, we had something going. So what I've actually done is to combine the Western version, the best of the Western version and the best of the African version fused into one. And because for a very long time, like in Kenya, girls have been told, growing up, they've been told sex is bad and it's bad manners. They don't even call it sex. They call it mambo machafu. That means bad manners. And then you're married off to your husband and nobody tells you what to do. So on your own, you're supposed to switch from very bad to very good. Now I can enjoy sex with my husband. And it becomes very, very difficult for women. So I'm trying to stand in the gap. I allow women who grew up to know sex is bad because it was bad. You're not supposed to have sex as a child. But now that you're grown up, I'm redesigning your bedroom life so you can enjoy maximum orgasms.
That word, we'll hand over to Catherine over there. Catherine, maximum orgasms. That's
a big word.
Well, an orgasm is just part of it. That's why I call myself a lifestyle designer. It is all about your whole lifestyle. Because we have so many women, we are no longer just homemakers. Okay, we are career women. So how do you balance being a mom, a career person, a wife, and having life for yourself?
Wow.
That's interesting, actually, because that's interesting. I quite understand that bit. You need to have the mind to want to go into sex in the first place after you've come back from work, and it's been a busy day. What next? You just don't want to go to bed to sleep. So I quite understand where you're coming from there.
When you come from
what do you do to help people who are in that situation?
Okay, you just come from work, you are tired. Who says sex is one of those things which is going to get you more tired? I find sex to be relaxing. So for a very long time, I've been teaching women how to have different forms of sex. So when you're not having one, you're busy having the other. You need to have sex with your husband. You need to make love to your husband, and you need to play it. Okay? To have sex is one of those days you're too tired. You don't even want to make an effort. You just lie there. Here we call it the dead chicken syndrome, which I wouldn't recommend it. Okay? And then the making love is an emotional thing. You can't.
Gertrude, hold on there. Dead chicken syndrome.
Yes.
Is that like the tired syndrome?
Okay. If you're very tired, there's a form of sex you can have. You see, like you said, it's all in the mind. And I'm not saying you can do this every single day. Okay, but you can imagine this is your career. You are a married woman. How often can you be tired? You can't be tired every night. I'm actually in a hotel room right now because I'm out of town. I'm out of Nairobi. I've just finished an event. I'm tempted to demonstrate because that's what I've been doing for the last couple of hours. Demonstrating in a garden because I had about 100 couples.
100.
Okay. So you make love. Sorry?
I said 100. That's 200 people.
I think there were over 200 people. It was a big event.
Oh, wow.
And it was raining. So since I was talking and going around, I think my hair is a little bit wet.
Well,
but
like they say, a woman is sexy when she gets wet, from the rain. I don't know.
Not the
from wherever, yeah.
Taribo, you tell me, don't you, or you haven't seen some of those pictures and stuff, online where you see the women in the wet t-shirt or those car washes with the women, like.
Yeah, wet is sexy, right? Every man would prefer the woman wet. Yeah.
Not as an African man.
Okay. Gertrude, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So if a woman has the chicken syndrome, you called it, what will be the best way for her to get over the chicken syndrome?
Dead chicken.
How can she avoid the dead chicken syndrome to make her marriage work?
You need to have a routine from work. You need to have a few minutes of you resting. Your husband has to come on board and help you. If you have younger kids, then he needs to chip in. So it's not all up to you to get the kids ready to do all this, because if you go to work, you come and you have house chores, there's no way you're going to perform in the bedroom.
Okay.
I always say when
there are no kids in the picture.
If there are no kids in the picture, I recommend a lovemaking ceremony. If you love taking long showers, long bath, after that, there are few things you can apply. Having come from the coastal region of the country, we do a lot of aromatherapy, like the incense, it relaxes. Sniffing and smelling of pheromones, it just gives you a happy, good feeling. It actually relaxes. By the time you check in bed, don't go to bed tired, you just black out. Do all these things out of the bed. By the time you go to bed, you're relaxing, and then he's just going to come and complete the job. Because we all know, once a lady is relaxed, all she wants is to have what?
Orgasm.
To make sex.
I don't know. You tell me.
You just said. Gertrude,
sorry?
You've just said the woman is going to have the tired chicken syndrome. So would she just be lying down there, or what will she, if she's too tired, what does she do?
Okay, like I said, if you have a routine you do to relax you before you go to bed, the minute you take your fatigue into your bedroom, you will have the dead chicken syndrome. But if you do a bit of relaxation, sorry?
But the minute you do relaxation, so you might just fall asleep.
Not necessarily. You will be somewhere there relaxed, but not too tired. Because I actually recommend, and this is what I said For women, we need to do a little bit more for ourselves. Okay? Because by the time a woman is going on dead chicken syndrome, she's having sex for him, not for her. If it's for yourself,
Yeah.
you'll want to try at least 5 positions before you stick to one, finish and sleep. But dead chicken syndrome is one facing up, legs not properly spread, all his weight on you. It's boring. Nobody wants that. But if you shake it this side, you shake it the other side, you turn from man on top, side by side, woman on top, twist, turn, trust me, even your body is going to respond.
Wow. So, Taribo.
Yeah.
This
Aside
is
that,
pretty interesting to me, because from what Gertrude is saying now, this is talking about the women. So
Yes.
for the men, they say that when a man doesn't get a lot, he doesn't get a lot. How do you manage that? How do you manage that emotional challenge where your mind is fatigued, you're mentally fatigued, your pocket is fatigued, and then the madam is saying, Mr. Man, Valentine's Day,
Everything is
what will you
fatigued.
So he's refusing to give her a standing ovation based on economic reasons.
Exactly.
you know, now it's the approach of couples to sex. I like addressing it from that point. How do you see sex? You find out that most men will see sex from the point of performance, right? While most women look at sex and they look forward to having an orgasm. So you as the man and as a couple, growing up and building intentionally yourself, your relationship, to the point where in having sex, you're saying this is an expression that we call love making. So if it is love making, then it means even at my lowest point, I want to be held, I want to be touched. So if you're not coming from the point of performance, but you are interested in building that relationship, that loving relationship, that intimate relationship. So I encourage intimacy in sex. So beyond performance, beyond achieving a goal. Because if you look at sex as achieving a goal, yes, men might want to come for sex just to ease that sexual tension. You know, you just feel, man, I'm stressed. It's been a while. Let me just let go. Let me just release and be fine. But so our advice, men, build love intentionally. Build your sex intentionally. That means if I am down, coming home, I am tired, right? My goal for the day economically did not happen. I should be able to talk to my spouse. Men, or most couples, most Africans, right? At least my clients are Africans. Most Africans I know, we're still, we struggle to talk about sex. We struggle to talk about it. It's like it's easier to be done than to be communicated. So if you grow to the point where you can actually talk about sex and how you're feeling, that's part of what I do. Communicating your emotions. So if everyone understands that, see, my emotions are valid, how I feel matters, don't trivialize it. So I talk to you as my spouse. I come back and I say, I expected that this business should have worked. It did not work. Don't tell me I'm overreacting, right? Don't tell me I'm overreacting. I have, my feelings are valid. It might not be serious for you, but for me, it is serious. So if you are empathetic with another person, what then happens is this. Now you will come and talk to me, and I'll be able to be vulnerable with you, and sex should bring extra intimacy. So if
Even when,
you are,
sorry, Taribo, will that happen even when there's no finances, when there's no money as well?
when
Will
there's
that
no
happen
money,
naturally?
now it will not happen naturally. It will not
Yeah.
happen naturally. It only happens, right, when you have built it before you did not have money. Whether you like it or not, money stabilizes, money amplifies. So money will amplify a state in a relationship or in a marriage. So if the marriage was not good and there's no money, you know what happens? The marriage will get worse.
No
But if
romance.
the marriage, yes, so you had problem and now there's no money, wow, it's going to be bad. But if you don't have money, and now why it will be a problem for a woman over time, you know, there's something with waiting for someone that is a work in progress. So I know women have a lot of patience. Women know a man that is has a prospect. So if you don't have the money and the woman doesn't see a prospect in you, now it is a problem. Believe me, she will sign out over time. But if she knows that you are working hard to get to that point, then the point that I want to make also is this. A woman loves provision. She needs provision. So if you take away that ability for her to be secure, right, be in a secure relationship without provision, she's distracted and sex is not her problem. So I know that's what Catherine wants to hear now. So this part of it, yeah, so this part of it, you need to provide for her, because if she's wondering, how are we going to feed? What will happen to the rent? What will happen to the bill? And you are there, all what you're doing, you just want to release the sexual tension. Oh dear, that woman will not enjoy the sex. It might become a chore for her. Yes, because she'll sit there and she's distracted. And you know, for a woman to enjoy sex, I'm sure Gertrude will tell us, for a woman to enjoy sex fully, her body, soul, spirit, mind has to be fully invested in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Should I continue?
Yeah, sure, go
Hello,
on.
Gertrude.
Sorry?
Hello. Yeah,
Yes.
Gertrude. So, based on what Taribo is saying, for instance, you know, women usually know when a man has prospects and all of that. Now, is it a case of a woman's sexual prowess comes to the fore when she meets a man that has prospects, or a man that has plenty of alerts, or a man that has plenty of money, that kind of stuff? Does she have the I mean, is she incentivized to actually perform more when the man is, you know, very liquid, so to speak?
Okay, let's start with the prospect, first of all.
Okay.
I call it potential. Many times people say this guy has potential. He's not there yet, but he has potential. Kenyan women are known to be very aggressive, and those are majority of my clients. And a Kenyan woman will tell you, many men have potential, but it never comes to pass. He has potential for the rest of his life, and they're tired of it. Okay. Taribo, we are modern women. I count myself to be a perfect African woman. I'm a modern woman. What makes you think that just because you're the man, you are the sole provider? You don't have to sweat it all by yourself. My mom and dad took me to school. I know I'm supposed to be your helper, but you cannot ignore my pay slip. If it's money which is bringing problems in our marriage, we need to sit down on a round table and discuss and agree. Some women, majority of the women I know, they don't want a man because they needed to be provided for. They're hardworking women, they're making some serious money. They demand most of the time other things other than money, which most men cannot provide. I'll tell you personally what I need for my man to be a man. And I'm speaking from a married woman's point of view. We just celebrated our 22nd year in marriage. We dated for 5 years.
Oh.
At this point, I don't want him to die of stress because times are hard and he's sweating it all to provide for me and my 2 sons. I need something. There is something he should provide, though. That's when he'll be a man for me. And for me, I choose to have things which have got nothing to do with money. That's when I know I have the real man. He can't buy it, because even we have very rich men. Whatever you want, they'll buy it for you, and you'll end up having a big car, living in a big house, but you don't see the man, or you're sharing him with. We call them community husbands on this side. He's a community husband. He can afford to be.
What's a community husband, please?
You share him with everybody else in your community.
With everybody else.
But doesn't that go?
He can afford it.
Doesn't that go against our polygamous nature, so to speak?
Mm-hmm. And that's okay. When it comes to polygamy, you can't marry me if you wanted to be a because in my country, we recognize about 4 types of marriages, because I'm also a marriage crusader. It's not just about sex. It is a big deal. It cannot be ignored, but it's not just about sex. We recognize 4 types of marriage. Christian marriage, you can't have another wife. Muslim marriage, you can. Customary marriage, you can too. And then we also have Hindu marriage. So if you married me in church, you have no business marrying somebody else. You could have gone to your village, pick 5, 6 wives. They know I get into this marriage, this is the deal.
Yeah.
Okay. But when it comes to money, I think men need to understand. If you play your cards right, you really don't have to get a heart attack. I see so many men really sweating it. If they can let the woman help or the wife help, and I'm talking about marriage here. If we are going out, I'm not paying your bill. Why am I paying your bills? You know? And this potential thing, please let it come to pass. You can't have potential for 10 years. We need to move on with life.
I like that.
But people, but companies dig for oil and they are doing 15 years before they actually strike oil. So
yeah, they continue to prospect.
Continue to prospect. There's still potential there.
But I agree with you. I agree with you to an extent. Yes, that it's an individual thing. You know, just like you know what you want, right? So for every relationship, for every marriage, every partnership, we all have expectations.
Yes.
So that should be played in marriage too. So when you want to have a couple, a partner, even I talk to singles and I ask them, why do you want to get married? You need to define that. It's important, because you'll be shocked why some persons want to get married. So you want to be joined to another partner, and the simple question, because oftentimes why we get hot, why we get sad in relationships, in marriage, it's because of unfulfilled expectations. So do you ask that basic, simple question, why do you want to get married to me? It is as simple as that. You find that we could have every other conversation and you've not asked that man or you've not asked that woman, why do you want to get married to me? So if the woman says, I want to get married to you because I need economic security, then you understand where she's coming from. Because some persons will say, I want to be a baby girl, right? I want to be taken care of.
But is there anything wrong in having a material perspective towards marriage, for instance?
There's nothing wrong, but the problem is you should be ready, because it comes with a consequence. There are consequences. Because if what you're interested in is the material things, know that somehow in his subconscious, or in her subconscious, because it goes both ways. Some women, you know that your man got married to you because of your money. And some women want to get married to a man because of his money. So somehow the other partner knows it is because of the money. And they might just see you as another acquisition. That is the side effect. So you got what you wanted.
Some women will ask what's your risk portfolio. Will ask what's your risk portfolio before they marry you.
That's what I'm saying.
They know the level that they are playing at. To ask that kind of thing.
Yeah, if that is your interest, and you go in there, you can get it. You have all the money. You have the financial security. And if he sees you as another acquisition, as a property, right? Then you know what that means. Just like Gertrude said, when it now comes to a point, he becomes a community husband, and you need him to yourself. And he said, "What? I've provided everything for you. You needed security, right? And now you have the security. So I need to go out there and continue making money. You're taken care of. You have the best of vacation. You have a good home. You drive the best car. You are on a good allowance, even if you have your money." So those are the side effects to it. But it's good that you are clear from the onset. What do you want in marriage? Yes.
Yeah, for a woman that has gotten married to a man because of his financial prospects, yeah? And she comes to you and say the marriage is not working out or the relationship is not working out, and she comes to you for emotional massage. What would you be recommending to her?
Okay, the marriage is not working. She married. Okay, first of all, I would like to know why it is not working. When you say it's not working,
like you said, yes. The man realizes. Like you've said, the man realizes, and then he's elsewhere.
Okay, so I will have to tell her now. First of all, she needs to get a life for herself. We were first individuals before we became married. So I'm an advocate of self-love, right? Because it gets to a point where you become over dependent on your partner for your happiness, and you begin to lose yourself. So if that man now is taking advantage of you, or he's taking you for granted, or your dependence on him for granted, it is now time for you to look inwards. You are not less of a human. You have the capacity to make money for yourself. So what would you rather do to give you happiness? Who are you as an individual? There's a particular attraction that comes from a woman that has discovered herself, that loves herself stupendously, and is fulfilling purpose. Yeah. She is extremely sexy and attractive. So that's the first thing I would tell you to do, right? You need to show love to every part of you and become whole and complete. Then you have that conversation with the man. Because believe me, he begins to see you attractive again when he knows she doesn't need me. How many women can really say, I don't need a man? But you have a lot of women that don't need men. They are rising, a lot of professional women, right? They don't need men. They have their money, they have their homes, they have their money. Yes?
Taribo, when you say they don't need men, yes. For me, one or two things will come to mind. Does that have anything to do with sexual orientation, or does that have anything to do with the rise of the new fad, which is the toys?
Yeah, even if you're taking me there, even with the toy, man, the toys give them maximum orgasm, maximum pleasure, right? So even from that point, they don't need men.
Gertrude, would you agree with that? I think Gertrude might be frozen.
Yeah, I think it's
frozen.
Kathy, what do you think so? You think the toys can make up for having flesh and blood right next to you?
I think it depends on the individual as well. Depends on depends on the individual. It might work for some people and might not work for some people. So yeah, I think it varies.
But those toys must be selling for a reason now.
Well, those toys sell a lot. I'm not sure how they sell in Nigeria, but I know in Europe it's
business right now.
Do you know part of why they are selling? Do you know part of why they are selling?
Wow.
No, I don't. Why are they selling?
Because men are refusing to learn how to have sex.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes,
that's a new one.
Because you have people that have partners and still have sex toys.
Okay, yes.
You get a point. Yes.
Yeah.
Because there's an increased awareness on the need for women to experience orgasm. So you look at your man and wondering, like I saw a post somewhere last week, and someone was making a prayer to God. Dear God, the G-spot you put in us, they are not touching it.
They are not getting it.
Are you serious?
Say, God, you're the one that put it there. They are not touching it. They are not hitting
They are
it.
not touching it. So they need the spirit of discovery.
You see, you get it now. So a man comes into a relationship or marriage because I started having sex from 18, so you think you know sex. But sex, stolen sex comes with a particular kind of feeling that it's not about orgasm. It's about the feel, the upsurge, the mystery of that passion being expressed. So you find out when people now have steady partners, whether married or unmarried, it begins to change. It's no longer stolen. It is expected. Then in Nigeria, we say the see finish thing steps in, right? So you are now having sex normally. Just like I said, the man wants to come, performance, and he's gone. And the woman expects orgasm. And we're not communicating our sexual expectation. So the man is not aware. How can I ensure that at least most times when I have sex with a woman, that she experiences orgasm, or at least she plays in that area? So you, the woman, how do you want to tell me I've been having sex from 18? You want to tell me that I don't know how to have sex? So it is a problem for some persons.
So 10 years is not the experience.
It is not the experience. Do you know what you're doing? Right? Do you know what you're doing? Do you enter every woman as a learner, knowing that it might be different with this person? Your partner's body could change.
Taribo.
It could evolve, yes.
Taribo, hold on there. So Gertrude is back. But this time around, Gertrude has come out in the real Valentine colors, the spirits flowing. She's come out red hot. Gertrude, what happened there?
Hotel room. What did I think the network is a bit shaky. So
yes,
now I'm using my phone. I was using my laptop. Now I'm using my phone.
Are you sure it's not the Valentine vibrations in the hotel
what did I miss?
that is actually? Are you sure? Are you sure it's not the Valentine vibrations in the hotel there that is making the network sketchy?
That will come later.
Okay, so Gertrude, before we take you on,
before something went wrong,
I want to show you the most romantic video for this Valentine season that I have seen so far. Catherine, shh, don't say a word.
Oh.
Just watch. We'll be right back.
Okay.
This year, get her the one thing she's been waiting for. The COVID-19 vaccine from Pfizer. Don't just be her somebody, be her antibody. Because the quickest way to the heart is a syringe. Inoculate yourselves with love. The COVID-19 vaccine from
No,
Sign
no,
of
no,
I
no.
won't even comment on that one.
Can you imagine
So
that?
I think we have a question there.
Okay.
It says,
Yes.
is that the G spot? Is there a
Okay,
possibility
let me put it on
that
screen.
Okay.
Let the producers put it on screen so that we can see it.
Yeah.
So it says, Catherine,
The G spot, is there a possibility that the increase in the use of sex toys is based on the fact that there are fewer men out there? Gertrude, I think you'll be the one to answer this question for us.
Let me see if I got it right. The G spot, is there a possibility that the increase in the use of sex toys? Okay, I hope I got the question right.
Okay, so the person is asking.
I
Okay.
think the person was just making a reference, just, a joke with that G spot and laughing, and then now asking the question.
So the question,
Okay.
Gertrude, is that do you think that the use of sex toys is as a result of the fact that there are fewer men out there?
No. I don't think so. I just somebody's personal preference. First of all, I am against sex toys. As much as I'm a sex therapist, I'm also old school when it comes to some things. I've seen how much harm they cause than good, both in marriage and in just any other relationship. Okay, toys have energizer battery. They can go on and on and on. And women who are single who go for toys, they overexcite their systems. By the time a guy comes along, there's nothing he can do. The guy can hardly make it to round 2. And your system is overexcited. Just the other day, I had a lady who was trying to wean herself off toys after having sex with her. Oh no. Oh boy. Oh, I'm back.
Wow. So she's in.
Okay. I hope I'm good and you guys can get me.
Yes, so I can hear you now.
Yes. So I don't
Taribo.
think it's as a result of we have fewer men for a very, very long visited. The population council say we have a lot more women than we do have men. So what are we talking about exactly? In fact, I had to make a conclusion for Kenya. Whatever the percentage is, like 49-51. We have 49% women and 51% men. But half the men don't function as men. That's the problem. So the many women we have struggle over very few men. And then we're running around all over the place saying we don't have enough men. We have enough men. Some of them are Ben 10, just like women, some younger women are looking for older men. They're no longer called sugar daddies, they're called sponsors. And then many men are looking for older men. We call them Ben 10. It's a big mess. Yeah. But I don't think women use toys because we don't have fewer men. They just want to explore, experiment, not knowing what's going to happen later. Yeah.
Catherine,
if you have to use toys, for me,
Taribo.
it has to be with you.
Catherine, for you, sponsors of Ben 10.
Sorry.
Okay, are we good?
I didn't get that.
I was asking Catherine, I said, so Catherine, for you, sponsors of Ben 10.
Sponsors.
I will answer that question later. Taribo,
Yes.
from your perspective, Taribo, would you say a married woman using sex toys? Would you say her using sex toys is wrong? I mean, as a man, how would you see that?
I don't encourage. I won't encourage a married woman to use sex toy, except that is a last resort when the husband has failed and refused to learn. Right?
And what if she's doing it without her husband's notice?
Yes,
and her husband doesn't know.
Yes, then that is. I don't encourage it. That I wouldn't say is not right? Because now it's a self-help strategy, a self-help option. Just like I am big on making decisions and facing consequences. That's exactly what Gertrude mentioned. Because I know one or two women now, because you do that, indeed, you've become, you've enjoyed sex toys. So your husband is having sex with you and you are not so involved in it. Let him get done and so you can go and finish up with your sex toy.
Can that be called cheating?
So you find, so you can now say you're passively cheating on your husband with a sex toy.
So
you get a point. Yes.
Yeah, I get that.
So what are you looking for? That's the question. What are you looking for? So beyond performance, let us go back to sex being an expression of love making, building intimacy. So we're not looking just at the end of it that I want orgasm, but that I want to enjoy the process of love making, and which starts with your partner speaking things to you, right? Because the sex should start before the action. But once we lose focus and sex is all about performance and orgasm, then anything possible to have sex, including for the man masturbating, because I just want to release the sexual tension. And that's why also the man, anything that is a hole, he will put his dick in there. It is for the same reason. So while we talk about the man, let's also talk about the woman. So if you're dissatisfied with your sex, have a conversation. Yes, Gertrude.
Yeah. Thank
Go
you,
ahead.
Taribo.
Okay, Catherine.
Yes.
I just wanted to clarify something when it comes to toys. I just wanted to clarify something when it comes to toys. Toys.
Yeah.
There are toys for dual sex and there are toys for solo sex. The solo sex ones are the organs, vibrators, all sorts of things. And then we have some which are more of accessories than toys.
Right. Okay.
A man can choose it on his own and a woman cannot choose it on his own. But together, you have taken your relationship to a different level. Together, you can enjoy your life and everybody gets to speak in their mother tongue because of the pleasure the toys bring. Okay? Those are some of the toys I was talking about this evening in my event.
Yeah.
Okay? So
what sort of toys are those?
But if it's just we have like the We Vibe, a cock ring where the guy can put it on. It has an extension which is a clit massager. It comes with a chargeable unit. You switch it on, then you're living a fantasy. He turns into a vibrator in you. On your own, you can't use it. If you have this task and it's okay, you've decided to take your relationship to a different level. That's okay. But if it's a toy, like I agree what Taribo says, if it's a toy where it's an organ shape, I like using code names in my presentation, both my radio shows and my TV shows. I call the penis Mr. Victor. If the toy is bigger than your husband's Mr. Victor, he catches you doing stuff with it, he looks at it and he is intimidated. He will never touch you and you will suffer in that relationship. Yeah, so I think we have to be careful and see, because we need to explore. When all the emotional issues are taken care of and everything else, what is so unique between a husband and wife other than sex? Okay, and this is something to be enjoyed. As much as we are Africans, we no longer have sex for the man. The women also are very, very demanding. So if you decide, let's take our relationship to a different level, let's start with this, even handcuffs, sticklers, that's an accessory. Okay, we have vibrating balls. He has the remote. So you explore, because you need to enjoy and enjoy life. Yeah.
Well, they're telling you to preach. They are telling you to preach, Gertrude.
Gertrude, so what are the natural ways, Gertrude, with which you can take your relationship to a higher level?
Physical, or
we're talking
not
physical,
just physical.
now.
It has to be a total. Oh, we're talking physical. Still going back to sex.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, let me clarify something. That sex in marriage and sex between people who are going out is totally different. Many people will disagree with me, but I can tell you it is different. When you're married, it's like everything, the emotions, the unpaid bills, the in-laws. In Kenya, we also have issues with helpers, because we leave our kids home with a mind of, so it's a lot of things. But if you're going out, you only see each other. When you want to hook up, you're not carrying any baggage. It's totally different. But if you're married, okay, for men, you don't just show up at the middle of the night, with a kick in the dark. Or in Kenya, our national language is Swahili, and they always say fungua niingie. It means open, I enter, directly translated. If that is your idea of foreplay, it's going to be hard. Okay, you need to observe the stages of lovemaking. Foreplay has to be there, and it has to be foreplay her way or foreplay his way. I suggest couples take turns. So it's not just the man who keeps asking, it becomes boring and he will give up at some point. Take turns to initiate. So signing a sex contract is not a bad idea. I make all my couples sign a sex contract. It's a deeper way of communicating and telling your partner exactly how you like it. So he doesn't touch the breast like they're milking the cow and kicking the duck. It's a signal that open wide for me to do this. No, sign, put it in writing, sign it up, give him his copy, keep yours. If he doesn't do number 5 in like a month or so, give him the contract, remind him, we haven't done this. We agreed, number 5, if you go visit your mom in the village, we have to have at least one round or a quickie behind her house. It spices up our life. If that's what you have to do, put it down. Okay? It's important. Now, when I give out the sex contract, trust me, there's no way you can communicate deeper. Like Taribo said, it's not an easy conversation. It's not an easy conversation, but we have to move forward. So make him sign the contract, because this is the only way he gets to understand what you like. Now, if I give it to the men, it will be about sex and nothing but sex. If I give it to the women, it's a different story. I've seen number 7 reading, he needs to help me with homework twice a week. It's not a sexual thing, but it will help her relax and enjoy sex with the husband. I've seen it in women's sex contract written over the holidays. When you go to visit at the village, we should spend Christmas at his folks' village and New Year's at my folks' village. Yeah. Or something like, can I have a break? We have sex every single day. I can't take it anymore. And that's another problem. I don't think there's any human being on earth who can have sex every single night. It's because women keep giving the men quickies. 5 minutes, 2 minutes, the brother can have it every single night. Yeah. But pin him down for an hour. Let's see if he's going to have sex tomorrow. After it, I out of the bed. You know, because it's also physical demanding. But when the emotional things, because I know I'm talking about the physical thing, when the emotional things are taken care of, that's the biggest, heaviest load. Sex is natural. You have your Mr. Victor, I have my Miss Victoria. Let's do this. There's no problem.
Victorian
If you are a little bit dry, we will use a lubricant. There's no dry moments. There's no ouch, ouch. Nobody has a walking style the next day. And life is good.
So you mentioned earlier that they will speak in the local tongue. Now, I saw one of your sessions online, and you were talking about how a man that was getting a bit physically challenged, or rather, when Mr. Victor starts getting physically challenged, there's a form of exercise or the other that Mr. Victor can do. Can you guys, if you're watching this, I think you need to get your pens and your paper out and start taking notes.
I'll take down notes.
This is going to be very interesting. Trust me, I'm telling you. All right. So, Gertrude.
This is about the Kegel exercises for men?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so for a very long time, people discovered Kegel exercises work, and women have been taught and coached on how to do Kegel exercises, and especially women who have given birth naturally, or women who are almost in their menopause, and Miss Victoria doesn't have a very good grip. Miss Victoria makes a lot of noise. You see, when you're having sex, Miss Victoria is supposed to be quiet and nice. She's not supposed to wake up the neighbors. And there are two languages Miss Victoria speaks. The other one, no one wants to hear that. So we've been taught to do Kegel exercises, okay? But Kegel exercises work even better for men, okay? And this is for men who have, oh, my phone is almost dying. Please help me. Okay. My husband is in bed pretending to be sleeping, and he's supposed to be working like me. We're supposed to share this responsibility. See, he's already what? Oh, it's good to be married, even if you get a morning. Okay, so here we go. So at least it's not going to die.
All right, fantastic.
So the Kegel exercises, yeah, work very well because there's so many men who have spongy erection. You know, for you to enjoy sex, you need to have a rock hard erection. If it's spongy, then there's going to be a problem. And if you're not also, if you decide you're having sex, you need to go all the way. Majority of the women don't get an orgasm because the man can't last that long. We take longer to attain vaginal tenting to get the orgasmic state. So you need to do the exercise that will give you a longer, a stronger erection. So there are different positions. I think I can, how am I doing this? I want to see if I can stand and demonstrate.
Okay, I hope the lighting is good enough for the viewers to see, because it's pretty interesting to see that.
I don't know how to do it. Okay, so okay, my husband is gonna hold it. Thank you, Pete. Guys, say thank you to Pete, so he feels motivated.
Thank you, Pete.
Thank you, Pete.
Okay, so I'm standing. Okay, I'm standing, and first of all, you need to get a face towel, the little square face towel. So this will be my Mr. Victor today. Okay, the remote will be my Mr. Victor. So you need to get a face towel, wet it with warm water, okay? And then fold it the first time and then fold it the second time. You create something narrow like this. So you place it over Mr. Victor, okay? Now, position number one, just have your hands drop to your side. Mr. Victor, don't hold your Mr. Victor to support. Even if it's not very erect and it's not coming up, it's fine. With time, it will be able to raise up. So the towel, the wet towel acts as a dumbbell. Okay? The wet towel acts as a dumbbell. So your Mr. Victor is here.
Weights.
Sorry?
Mr. Victor is lifting weights.
Yeah, your Mr. Victor is. Yes, exactly. Now you get my point. So it has to be erect.
Okay.
It has to be erect, and then put the towel across. And then, without you holding Mr. Victor, lift it, hold it. In like, even if it didn't look like it has lifted, but you know you're lifting it up. Then you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's like 5 seconds. And then relax. Don't drop the towel, just relax, count again up to 5. Lift, count, relax, count, lift, count. The first time when you're starting, do it for 1 minute. Position number 1. Position number 2, you hold your back, just above your waist. That's where your hands are going to be. Then do the lifting. Okay, again for 1 minute. Position number 3, your hands behind your back and try to lift it. Okay, so if you're able to do a different position, add another minute and another minute. By the time you get to 5 minutes and you're able to do this, you will have the strongest erection and the hardest, and your wife is not going to leave you.
Wow.
But you will have muscle X for a while. Just like when you start exercising at the gym, you do have muscle S, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but what if Mr. Victor starts to feel that that's a lot of heavy lifting?
And they're very, very effective. Sorry?
What if Mr. Victor starts to feel that that's a lot of heavy lifting?
Mr. Victor needs to get used to do a lot of heavy lifting. Penetration long enough to get a woman to orgasm. It's not a small job. But okay, the benefits are a lot more than just having a stronger, harder erection. By the time you exercise, you're doing those exercises, and now when you actually get to make love, the orgasm is mind-blowing. You can feel from each and every bit. So the pleasure is also heightened, and that's a good thing, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because women will have to tell us if the pleasure is heightened or not. So, Catherine,
No, this is for the men. This is for the men. The pleasure is heightened.
This is for the men.
Not for the yeah.
This is for the men.
Men, Taribo, men usually find it very difficult to tell a woman how they truly feel. So, like Gertrude said, she gets her couples to sign a contract. For most men, telling their wives or asking their wives, how do you want it? When do you want it? That type of stuff. It seems like it's rocket science. It's a major challenge. How do men scale such hurdles?
You cannot overcome communication by not communicating.
Okay.
All right. That's all right.
So like saying, how do we replace not communicating?
Yeah.
Not communicating is not communicating. Instead is to say, how do we start to learn how to communicate? Because we need to start communicating. And first, you could just start with basic things. How will you like to be touched?
Not milk. Not milk.
How will you like to be touched? You'll be surprised that some women are upset with the way the men are kissing them, even as little as kissing, right? So how will you like to be touched? Yes. Are you kissing or are you sucking, right?
So we're talking the romantic side now, Taribo. Would you say romance is needed for every relationship?
It is necessary. Because I believe that every skill can be learned. I think I posted that. So even sexual skills, so romantic skills. You might have not grown up like that. You might have just grown up as a man to show yourself that you're a man by having sex, pounding, and you feel that is it, you're a man, you're pounding. But forgetting that a woman loves romance, right? So it is important. If you did not learn it, that's the essence of the communication. Okay, what turns you on as my spouse? What are the things? You'll be surprised. Just like Gertrude said, that some of the things that turns her on is the fact it's acts of service that you helped me, right? So that is romance. I say foreplay. Someone said foreplay is everything you do closer to the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you do. So don't only see foreplay as when you've touched her. So foreplay starts that you are just by her side, encouraging her. Like Gertrude's husband now is by her side, helping her. Foreplay has started already.
Priming her for the Valentine mood.
Exactly.
Payments. He's expecting payments. It's 2:00 in the morning, people.
I got it.
That's what I'm saying. But he's there for you. you know. So that's the romance. So understanding from the other person, how would you like to be taught? What turns you on? What do I do that really puts you off? Because what you intend to find out is what will you start doing, what will you stop doing, what will you do more, and what you will do less. So we must categorize all of this. Because if I know that, okay, touching you in a particular way, you find that some persons, they are turned on just that you book for sex. You know, some women, you book for sex. So you're in your office and you send the text, tonight is going to be steamy. That alone messes their head up. Because they are waiting tonight. Are you serious? You've started making love to their brain. So what works for every person? You need to find out that when you do something else, does it work for you? So that's romance. Now it's Valentine. Everyone will not be tricked by a getaway. Everyone will not be tricked by dinner. What your spouse might just need is put the phone on vibration and stay by my side and let's Netflix and chill. And let's eat in the room tonight.
Yeah.
And that is romance for them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and if your spouse is telling you, oh, I know tomorrow is Valentine's Day, but don't worry, every day is Valentine for us. Know that Valentine's Day is only February 14th. All the other days you can be in love, but it's not Valentine's Day.
But you know,
the significance is lost on me, to be honest with you, because if every day is a day to love your spouse,
But
why must you pick one day of the year and
that
go?
Okay.
That's like asking why must you pick one day of the year to spend Christmas as Christmas Day?
Well,
anyway,
why must you pick one day of the year to have your birthday?
Okay, so why is it that the women that want this Valentine's Day so badly, who will be reminding you via text messages since December, why is it that it's only boxers they give men on Valentine's Day? Why do they give us only boxers? Is it a case of our function for Valentine's Day is to wear those boxers?
No, that boxers.
It seems like you have loads of boxers.
See that boxers as a ribbon, the wrapping sheets for their Valentine gift. Yeah, they just bought a wrapping sheet for one of their Valentine gifts.
Why they give us only boxers? Why?
But sincerely though, Valentine should be celebrated to the degree you can, but it is celebrating Valentine is not the ultimate. I agree.
One of our guests made a comment in support of what Taribo just said, and the guest said, Couples must learn to accommodate date nights and time away from their children. Sleepovers at grandparents or aunties are invaluable. Couples must
True.
keep relationships at the forefront.
Yeah.
So, quite a few people do agree with you, and they do agree that the romance element of any relationship is probably paramount. I don't know. So we'll have to vote on this to find out. Excuse me. Which is more important, romance or the sex?
You can't have one without the other.
It's all important.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't have one without the other. If you don't romance your wife, your sex is going to be very lousy.
Exactly.
You just have, without a romance, you would just have two genitals touching each other.
Exactly.
Okay,
And
so that's 3 votes already. So number 4. I agree.
Even speaking of foreplay and touching,
You can't have one.
yeah, I was just going back to foreplay and touching. Don't just assume men know how to touch women. You could be doing the wrong thing or the right thing to the wrong woman. You need to customize that foreplay, that touching to the woman, the one you're with at the moment. Don't just say, oh, every woman likes this, like this common thing so many men say, every woman likes to be fingered. Wrong. Big mistake. It's a turn off. She clinches, you're not going to enjoy sex. You need to find out what works for her. So this is a challenge to the women. Don't assume he knows how to touch you. Teach your man how to touch you as a naked woman. Then you will have fun in your bedroom. So he will not be squeezing the breast like he's milking the cow, kicking you, like you're supposed to do that. Teach him. Okay? Some breasts have lost sensation. You will touch until tomorrow and nothing happens.
Nothing will happen.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. So learn your person, tailor make something for her, especially how to touch her as a naked woman. So those days where you don't have a long time to give a foreplay, you just go for the kill before you realize you're both on cloud 9. Then it becomes enjoyable for everybody.
That's fantastic.
And everybody's happy.
And everybody's happy.
Yep.
Okay. So for those who are watching from different parts of the world, we would like to wish you all a happy Valentine's Day. It's already like 3 hours into Gertrude's Valentine's Day, I'm sure. And
yes,
I know Pete must be wondering, okay, she's been working all day. She did an event, almost 200 couples. She was giving demonstrations and all that. So he's watching this now and he's like, okay, when is this Valentine's Day going to start? So
it's just beginning.
Oh, well, like I said, he's going to be wondering when's it going to start. So,
yes.
Taribo, I think you need to give us an emotional massage. I was not going to say give Gertrude an emotional massage because I don't think it's you would please give us an emotional massage, and then maybe Gertrude will give us 1 or 2 Karma Sutra secrets before we all go, so that the guests, the viewers,
we can't all be here at midnight and go to our beds with nothing.
With nothing now, So
we must go with something.
That's secrets. So we'll start with Taribo first.
So, what area do you actually require my services? We have. I need to know.
Just give us a generalized message.
Valentine's Day, and a lot of people are stressed out because they can't see their partners because they are on lockdown. Some are stuck indoors with their partners and they're getting bored with the whole milking the cow and all that. So they just need something to lift up their spirits, at least for the season of Valentine.
Okay. So my parting words will be this. You're forever a student of the person you get married to. So know that don't stop learning. Don't stop learning. Acquiring knowledge, just like we're doing here. I'm learning. I've learned from every one of you. I've learned from Gertrude. The same way you seek knowledge, also study your partner. It is important that you study your partner and you teach them how to love you. You know, we get to the point where there are some parts of you that you don't know. And we grow, even in love, even in relationships, we grow. You get married and you find out, okay, I never knew I was like this. Then you begin to find some feelings. You begin to find some things and some needs that you have in marriage. It is okay to communicate that to your partner. You know, we wish that our partner can just know how we feel. Sometimes we even accuse them. You should know that I am feeling horny. No, they might not know, right? You could have all the signs and hello, they're not seeing it. He should know that I need him. Do beyond that by letting them know. Can you just hold me? Can you just call me before you go to bed? I will really love you to call me every morning before you step out. Now you're teaching them how to love you instead of complaining. Because how you respond to a negative expectation from your partner also helps to make it better or to make it bitter. Now, you expect that I should call you. So I fail to call you. And now you're beginning to act up and sulk. There are chances that I will not call you because you have responded with a negative way, from a negative perspective, to your dissatisfaction with me. You get where I'm coming from? But instead, if I communicate from the positive point, yes, you were not able to call me, you must have been busy, but you know, I really love it when you call me. It keeps my head in a better place. There are chances, believe me, next time I will want to call you. That's the difference between you communicating to me and demanding from me. Because once I see these expectations as a demand, then it no longer flows properly. Then as you know yourself, as you discover yourself, communicate with your partner. And don't forget that everything can be learned, that your feelings are valid. So if you feel lonely this period, if you need something, be true to yourself and be true to another person. Even when you're vulnerable, you find some partners, you're vulnerable, but you can't tell your partner, say, I'm weak this period. I need sex, right? I need companionship. The first victory will be you telling yourself, this is how I feel and my feelings are valid. And you as a partner, are you a safe space for your partner? Can they really tell you how they feel and you will be objective enough not to hurt that feeling, but be empathetic? I think I'll stop here.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Catherine?
Well, Taribo, for that victory, Victor and Victoria must come together to be victorious. So, someone did say that couples must keep their relationships at the forefront. I'm reading that from the comments. Couples must keep their relationships at the forefront. And to be able to do this, couples must take weekend breaks, must go on short breaks, must have date nights, keep the children occupied, or give them time away from themselves. I would just like to add that for those of us that have kids, I mean, the children are there now, and they will grow away and leave you back at home. So when they leave you at home, you need to be prepared for what's going to be left of both of you. You need, and I think that's where the romance comes in, really, because you might be too tired to apply Victor and Victoria to be victorious, but I'm sure there should still be something there for us all. It's been a lovely night, so let's Gertrude add to this. Hello?
Okay, so it's Valentine's, people. Yes, it's Valentine's, good people. And I know today I talked a lot about sex. I didn't talk a lot about the relationships, because I call my talk sex and intimacy. You can't have sex without intimacy. I guess the same thing as romance. And I didn't touch a lot about that because Taribo was doing a very good job. But usually when I have my sessions, I have the relationship part, then we finish with sex. But because I'm here today as a sex part, I want to give you a tip, at least something you go and implement. Maybe some other time we'll find a way of talking about this other relationship. My favorite topic is back to basics. Like I said when I said at the beginning, we have let go of a lot of African ways of sensuality. I'm bringing that back, and I call the topic back to basic. But for now, I want to give you some Japanese tips. They have something called Nuru massage. Nuru can also be a Swahili word, where you oil yourself. I even came with the oil, dry oil, and you warm it in a bottle. I pack it on a spray bottle, and you lay your wife. This works very, very well for the women in a different sex position. So if you like doggy style, then she has to be on her fours, and you wet her up everywhere other than inside Miss Victoria, because if the oil goes into inside Miss Victoria, then she will have infections. Okay, it will be nice for that, but 2 days later she will be out of service for a couple of days, and you don't want that. So oil her up, how wet, you dry, and then you start rubbing. Especially if you attempt penetration, it will be sliding out, and trust me, it's going to be a very good game for Valentine. Make a mess. If you're in a hotel, it's fine. You're not the one washing the dishes, washing the bed sheets. That's what I'm planning on doing in this hotel room tonight. Well, it's not tonight. It's 2 in the morning, almost 3 in the morning. Okay, and if you're in the house, it's fine. Once in a while, you need to play hard and try penetration while it's a little bit slippery. We don't play together as couple. It's always business as usual. You see people hanging out, if it's just guys hanging out and they're having a good time, if a lady comes, you will be able to know whose wife that is, because the guy tenses up. Why is that happening? We need to have a lot of fun together. And maybe some other time when you have time, then I can teach the women how to be a one-stop shop. That's the truth. We don't want to share our men, especially our married men, with anyone. You have to be a wife, a lover, and for a lack of a better one, a nice little hoe. And guess what? You bring the whole bit, erect a stripper pole in your bedroom. It's one of the best ways to make money from your husband. Income, instantly. You drop it like it's hot, he drops the dollar, and it's a good life.
No romance without finance.
No romance. And Mr. Victor likes a cook in the kitchen, a CEO in the living room, and of course, little hoe in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky Victor.
Everywhere is a fair game. Everywhere. Be adventurous. As long as you don't get arrested by cops, they call it indecent exposure. But if you can sneak, it's so yummy. You know that stolen moment. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're married. If you're going out, I mean, it's normal. But if you're married, you have a nice cozy bedroom with a bed, but you do it behind his mother's house. You do it by the roadside. You know, you do it, I call it bush things, you know, everywhere. Make memories. On the plane, some rooftops, careful you're not electrocuted. But if you die, you'll die a very happy couple.
So she should wear bomb shorts and spaghetti tops and then try to be plucking mangoes when they go to the village, that kind of stuff.
I should try that.
You're making my imagination run wild because I'm just thinking of so many things that you have said, and it's unbelievable the things we take for granted on a day-to-day basis in all our relationships. We all look at each other at some point and start feeling that it's the same old person. And for some of the women, the reason why they lose out to the side chicks is because the side chicks do what Taribo said. You know, they react positively as opposed to reacting negatively. And for the men, no romance without finance. They feel when there's no money in their pockets, they're already pressured. And when they are pressured, they can't pleasure. And that starts, you know, another round of emotions over and over and over again. But we'd like to say thank you to both of you. I can't wait to have individual
Thank you, Taribo.
online
Thank
individual
you,
sessions
Gertrude.
with
Thank you.
Taribo on the one hand and then Gertrude on the other hand. And the next time we're going to have Gertrude on, if you are watching this show, we're going to make sure that we announce it like 2-3 weeks ahead so that you can actually register, because it's not going to be an open session. It's going to be a closed session. So if you don't register, you're not going to hear Gertrude talk. And Gertrude has a lot to give when it comes to your sex life, how to enhance it, how to improve on it, and how to grow with your partner when it comes to that aspect of your life. And also when it comes to Taribo as well, it's also going to be a closed session as well. It's going to probably be just a registration only, because these two guys have so much value to give. And it's mind-blowing to be able to bring both of them on at the same time. And they decided to do this for us here at Fromaradio.com because it's in the spirit of love, Valentine's Day. We'd like to thank you all so much for taking out the time to sit down and watch us run over time by several minutes, almost half the allotted time. We'd like to say happy Valentine's Day. Taribo, thank you so much for coming. And Gertrude, it's been a massive pleasure. Thank you so much. We hope to see you on again in the near
Thank you, Taribo. Thank you,
Thank you.
Gertrude. Thank you, viewers.
Thank you, Gertrude.
Good night, Taribo. Good night, Gertrude.
Good night.
Wow, Catherine.
That was some session.
Milking the cows? Oh my goodness, I've never heard that one before. That's a new one. I'm sure plenty of people have written down loads of stuff tonight.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see out of service as well. It's been a wonderful night.
It's amazing, you know. It's
Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day. So I'm gonna start my Valentine's Day with a cup of coffee. I don't know about you. Do you have any white wine, red wine? What do you have?
I will do red.
Ah, you do red.
I will do red. I will do red because it's close to Valentine's color.
in the spirit of red. Okay, that's fantastic. For
in the
me,
spirit of red. Yeah.
there's no red milk, so and I like my coffee black, unfortunately. So I'm going to do the coffee, and I hope for everybody that's watching, you're going to stay safe this Valentine's period. A lot of people do get a bit carried away and they move around quite a bit because it's Valentine's Day. We do hope you stay safe.
But make sure you share some love at least.
Oh yeah.
I've got my roses here. I've got my roses here already.
I've got mine too.
So
you guys stay safe. You have a fantastic Valentine's Day. We're going to see you in the next shower hour. And of course, it's going to be explosive all over again with the next guest.
It's going to be red hot.
It's going to be red hot. Still keeping it red in the spirit of Valentine's Day. So, Catherine, you have a fantastic Valentine's Day. I will be watching.
Thank you, Habib.
Everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day to you. And I wish you all the best and share a lot of love To all the viewers, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for taking out time to spend a bit of Valentine's Day with us. Look forward to seeing you at the next show.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.